Hey folks, I'm Sabine Glory, and welcome to a new game, Wartales. This is a game that just picked up, and I was thinking about doing a first look video, but having played it for a wee while, I decided I'm going to do a bit of a let's play. Maybe not too long, but a few videos at least, because it's a game that turned out to be really quite enjoyable, quite easy to get into. So we're going to go ahead with a new game. And one of the things that when I started playing the game, actually it made me think of books by Joe Abercrombie, the First Law trilogy in particular, and some of the characters from that I think would do well in this world. So thinking about, obviously, if you've read the books, Logen Nine Fingers, the Bloody Nine, and I thought his crew would probably be just the sort of guys you would find roaming about in this world. So I'm going to try and import some of those characters. But the idea of the game is that you're a band of mercenaries, and Logan's crew aren't mercenaries as such. They're named men. So if you think about like Scottish clans or Vikings, or it's the best warriors from the chief of the clan or tribe or whatever. So we're going to go with that sort of theory. In the books, they've just departed ways with Bethard, the King of the North, and they're now striking out on their own pretty much. So the story fits reasonably well with the story in Wartales, which is about there's been a massive empire has collapsed and there's opportunities to make money. And your role is just to survive in the world. You don't have to be good guys or bad guys or whatever. It's a totally open world. And as I said, I thought Logan's crew would fit right in. So the first thing you do is choose the background for your group of companions. You start with 4. So here, for example, do you have a swordsman, a ranger, an archer and a brute? Swordsman, spearman, warrior and brute for the men escorting merchants. Deserters fleeing an abusive captain is more the sort of story appropriate. And then young farmers looking for a better life, brute spearmen, a couple of spearmen, archers, brute ranger, archer. I'm not too bothered about the background story. I'm looking more at the composition of the starting companions. And I think the deserters fleeing an abusive captain probably gives me the best mix. So we'll accept that. And my companions are used to long walks. Logan's crew are. They're also cunning fighters. They also show incredible resilience. All of these, well, the first 4 probably would fit, but I think we're going to go with cunning fighters. And if they had a flaw, it would be eternal dissatisfaction. I think it has to be. Yeah. Do that. Right, and exploration mode, you can either have the game scale up its difficulty as you advance, or you can have it scale up depending on what region you go in, and you have to obviously reach the high enough level to get into the next regions. So I think I'm going to go with adaptive exploration so that the entire world's open to me. And we'll go with experienced and experienced. Save mode, I'm going to go with limited, because just in case of crashes or problems, I don't want to spoil or lose my YouTube series because of a crash, for example. So let's do that. Go into next. Bloody 9. Right, in customization, there's not a huge amount, but there's enough customization available. So we're going to start. We've got a ranger. I'm thinking Logan has to be the warrior. He's essentially he's a berserker. but I don't think the brute character suits him. That's why I've gone without a brute in the starting party. So let's choose you. You're going to be Logen 9-fin. Okay, the bloody 9. No, I didn't think that would be long enough. So you're going to be 9 fingers. Appearance, you're a man. I need an older face. Quite a few selections, actually. Okay, that'll do. Skin tone we'll leave. Hair, fine. Hair colour's fine. Facial hair, I don't picture Logen as having a beard. So he'll be clean shaven. Clothing colour, that's just the accessories. Just leave that then. Starting weapon. He's going to have a sword and a shield, but obviously start off with an axe. Logen, there's a part of the culture for the Northmen is one-to-one combat in the ring, where supporters from either side form a shield wall, a circular shield wall, and 2 combatants duel it out in the middle of it. So Logen had to be adept with a variety of weapons to be able to be successful in the ring. So we'll start off with the axe, slashing, critical hit, triggered if ability lands a critical hit. We don't see what the percentage chance is, but it applies bleeding. And Wrath is a special ability. Or first aid. No, it's got to be Wrath, I think. Again, that fits with the Berserker type character. And picking traits, I like this. He would be brawny, potentially. Clever. Again, that fits with the fighter in the ring. Yeah, we'll go take clever. The second one. We'll go with strong. And negative traits. I think we'll go with pickpocket to make him a bit more expensive. Right. And we've got an archer, a swordsman, and a ranger. One of Logen's closest companions is a guy called the Dogman, and he is this sort of a scout type character, so we're going to go with the ranger for him. We don't have scouts or thieves. And again, I want an older face. That would do. Skin tone would be very light, I think, for Dogman. Just leave that. Hair. That would be fine. Yeah, take that. Clothing colour, again, doesn't really matter. You don't have another starting weapon. You've only got stab. And your utility then is going to be... I was thinking run, but Dogman probably would be one of the crew most inclined to first aid. This can be handy though, but then again so can first aid. You're going to be nimble because you'll be an archer eventually. Potentially quick. Random trait, depressed. Okay, Dogman. And then, who else? Brood 3 trees, he would be a brute, so I can't have him. Tuldaru Thunderhead, I think, would also be a warrior, so again, he's out. We've got an archer. What was his name? I've forgotten. There was someone who was more of an archer. Dogman will be using a bow eventually. Harding Grim, that's the guy. Excellent. And again, apologies, but we're going to go with men just for the initial crew. We'll add in some women later when we get more character slots. That's fine. Facial hair for you. Do that. Clothing, again, clothing colour. Right, so vigilance and 4 to 7 damage to target. Okay, and you could have aim. Deafness. The range of the next attack is doubled and precision is enhanced. Yeah, take that. I want you to also be nimble for the dexterity. And I don't know. Do I want a second? I think we'll just go with nimble. We won't give you another positive trait or a negative trait. Right. And I've completely forgotten to save his name somehow. Harding Grim. That's what I want. Better. And that leaves, we've got a swordsman. Swordsman, well, I think it has to be the anti-hero. Black Dow. He's not going to have a very pleasant face. Yeah, we'll go with that. It's fine here. That'll do. And again, I don't think of him as having facial hair. So we'll go with that. Slice or cleave. No, he's going to be sword and shield, so just slice. Taunt, I could imagine him doing that, but again, I think probably wrath. I think we'll take taunt. He's definitely bloodthirsty. And I think it would make him brawny as well. Random trait. I'm just thinking about something different from the others. Drunkard. Yeah, because if we don't have beer, then it just means he gets unhappy. Right, so I think that's my starting crew. Dogwind, Black Down, Nine Fingers, Harding Grim, and Pony. Yep, done. Okay. So I need to decide, I mean, Logan's crew were essentially good. They weren't like paladins by any manner of means, but they were, I think, good underneath it all. But anyway, enough is enough. After bearing that horrible captain's abuse for far too long, your companions can finally enjoy their well-deserved freedom. Although, deserters are never a welcome sight, be it for their former colleagues or the locals who regard them as traitors for some reason. They will need to keep their heads down while still making a living. Here we are. That's as far as we can zoom in. We just move around by clicking on the map, pick up some resources as we find them. Some iron ore over here, and then we'll go and attack these guys and enjoy our first combat. I would like to be able to zoom in a bit closer. Okay. Combat. When your turn comes, play any unit you haven't used yet in the round. You can find out the enemy, which enemy will come into play, prepare your strategy. Yeah, so 2 of my characters move, and then 1 of the enemy, then another 2 of mine, 1 of the enemy again. The enemy are set in their order, but I can choose which order my guys move in. So let's have a dogman there. We'll have Harding Grim up here. Now there's other. He's Poacher over here moves first, and he's got bow. Wouldn't you know it? Right. Well, in that case, I'm going to have 9 Fingers, Harding Grim over here, and they'll go first. Starting with Harding Grim, let's have you move. We'll put you around here, away from the other foe, and you can't quite reach from there, so we'll spend 1 of our Valor points to get aim, and that doubles our range and also increases the damage. So the top bar, where it says 4 and it's flashing, that's armour, and then health is underneath. So we get a nice double damage there, and then that's the end of his turn. 9 Fingers, as I said, is going to go next. He's going to head for here. Just a slashing attack. Okay. When you perform a melee attack on a free enemy, you engage them. An engaged unit can only attack their engaged opponent and has a higher chance of taking critical damage. Take advantage of this with your other units. An engaged unit is exposing their back. Attack them from behind to get a bonus. So yeah, I could move in another couple of characters around here, but they wouldn't be engaged in combat. It's only 9 Fingers who's engaged with this Poacher. So end of turn. He has to make a melee attack, and it's not very good. So he can't move again. Obviously this guy's coming up next. We'll have Black Dow. Yeah, we'll have Black Dow engage first. So let's have you come around here. And we'll spend this Valor point on Taunt. And then we'll Slice. Just got base damage. And then, end of turn, Dogman comes in behind. And you've just got the stab. Bonuses for being in behind. End your turn. So Black Dow's now poisoned, so he'll take damage at the end of his next turn, if he's still alive. Or if the enemy are still alive. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to attack first with 9 Fingers and see if we can't get a critical. Unfortunately not. That means Harding Grim is now going to have to finish him off. I wanted him to try and help out over there. But, yeah, end your turn. Have you move to here, and you get friendly fire, so you want to be aware of your angles when you're using missiles. That's good enough. Galvanization increases damage by 50%, and that we've got galvanization because of the kill, obviously. In that turn, he gets to attack again. More poison on Black Dow, but hopefully the Dogman now can finish him. That looks like finishing him. So we're done. Okay, Black Dow's got some damaged armour. Harding Grim's got a level up. Nobody took any wounds that need healed. We're not taking the human remains. We'll take the sandstone, take the damaged dagger and the comfrey. And we'll repair all using our iron ore. Right, and let's have a look at our inventory. And what do we get? Damage to dagger. So, Dogman, you've got a rusty shiv. So this would give you extra dexterity in the poisoning style instead of stab. So we'll give you that. You can dual wield, but not at the moment. It's not got the ability to do that. And that's everything. Oh, repairing our armour didn't use up our iron ore, it uses up our raw materials, which we can get from iron ore at a blacksmith's. Oh yeah, pressed W there by accident. So that's our paths down here. You got 4 different: power and glory, trade and craftsmanship, crime and chaos, and mysteries and wisdom, and you pick up points as you go through and complete tasks, get experience. But we'll get to that when we've got the abilities. Stop pressing. I keep trying to press W to move the map. It moves a bit slowly, but you go into roads, it goes a bit faster. Let's go to the stables over here. Okay, plateau stables, we can buy ponies, but also if we have a look around, we can usually somewhere pick up hemp. And that allows us to make rope. Let's talk to this guy.
When I think of how many people don't shoe their ponies, it makes me want to pull out the little hair I have left.
Yes, it's ridiculous that people don't want to shoe their ponies.
Buy a horse from us, and I'll throw in the horseshoes for free.
Okay, the horseshoes give a movement speed bonus. So we'll leave that for now. Talk to Joanella.
Although the war in Edirne has been a boon for my business,
Although the war in Edirne has been a boon for my business, I cannot help but feel for my poor ponies. I can tell you aren't soldiers. Take them with you if you can, otherwise they would most likely end up dead on the battlefield through no fault of their own.
dead on the battlefield.
Right, we have 200 crowns. The ponies are all much of a muchness. We have 1 at the moment. I could come back and get a pony later. So I think we will leave it for the moment. There's a good chance that our pony might die through neglect. So I'll come back and get a pony if I need to later on, if I need additional carrying capacity. But just now, let's get Harding Grimm's level up. And we can choose Valorous Audacity. Every time the unit ends their turn next to an enemy and is not engaged in combat, you gain a Valor point. And remember, the Valor points allow us to take your special actions. Every time the unit kills an enemy, you gain a Valor point. Valorous Support. I prefer this one for archer units. Every time the unit ends a turn next to an ally and is not engaged in combat, you gain 1. So take that. And then dexterity is the best attribute to increase for an archer, but I'm just going to go with the double plus. Get critical hit upgraded, 7% chance. Alright, so we'll carry on. We've got refugees. Let's go and talk to refugees and find out about them. This is part of the backstory.
Are you bandits? We have nothing. We are only refugees.
So you'll find refugees wandering throughout the country, and you can either decide to attack them because they're seen as a menace by the local population and local authorities. So you can help them to fight off the refugees, or you can be nice to the refugees, or you can just ignore them completely. And I think in this case we're going to ignore them completely. I'll stay neutral towards them, I think, for now. Pick up some cloth. And this signpost tells us that we've got Strom Camp to the west, Tiltron Jail to the east. So we'll continue on the path up here. Just now keeping an eye out for resources. This is Strom Camp ahead of us. We earned a knowledge point. Let's go and look at our compendium. So we've got 1 knowledge point available to us, and cannibalism suggests to me that we're unlikely to be replete with food during the campaign, but we're going to start off, I think, with maybe rationing. Troop eats 3 less food per day. So yeah, I think that's where we'll start with. Now we might go with frugality to reduce wage costs, because we do have to pay 60 crowns after 3 more rests. So we'll get plenty of time to hopefully get another knowledge point and reduce this a bit. So as I said, we'll start off with rationing, since that hits us from day 1. And stay on the move. We've got merchants there, but we can sell our goods in Strom Camp. So we'll jump in here and we'll do that. Head to the Traveller's Feast Inn first. We've got an emissary here that we can get missions from. We've got an informant here who we can also get missions from. Patroness we can sell goods to, buy goods from, and get a bed for the night. And we've also got some more characters. So I think I'm going to start off by talking to and inspecting the characters. We've got another warrior, a spearman, and an archer. I don't want an archer, we've already got 2. So I guess we're going to take a warrior. What else do we have? A spearman. Right. I think we'll go with a warrior. Yeah, let's start off with you. So, talk to Engenon.
I've had enough of my nightmare neighbours. Take me far away from here.
Recruit for 30 and 60. Well, we can just afford it with our influence, and we've got plenty of crowns. So, do that. And I also hope he's up to the task. Engenon, let's inspect you. I'm going to change your name. As a warrior, I was thinking of Thunderhead. We're not going to get the whole thing. Ilderu Thunderhead. We'll just go with that. And you've got Maim. Critical hit applies bleeding, which is nice. And also, you've got your attack range is 2 meters because you've got a polearm, which is handy. Hardworking drunkard. So that's 2 drunkards in the party. You're a novice tinkerer. I didn't want to see other people shouldn't have professions at the moment. Okay. Right, let's talk to the emissary.
Looking for work? Our role as emissaries is to ensure that all service requests are fulfilled. We
Yes,
regularly update our
I am looking for work. Let's see what you've got to offer. Okay, we've got some easy mission to the south. And another easy to the south, so I think we'll accept both of them to start with. So I'll accept that. And this one. And both in the same vicinity. That's good. And we'll come over to Patronus. And we'll talk to him. Apple pancake gives us 14 food. We've got plenty of food to start with. We've got bread, apples, And that's it just now, but no doubt we'll come across wolves and that will give us some meat. But what I was thinking about was selling our rusty shiv. Get rid of that and picking up some brandy. We need 2 for each day because of the 2 drunkards in the party.
Feel free to come back often. There's always folk looking for
Not going to rest. We can rest for free outside. So I think we'll just leave it at that. Don't want to spend too much money at this point until we've earned some. Okay, let's leave. And we'll exit. Could go and visit some other people, but I think we'll do that in the next part. So for example, the town hall, you can also pick up work and things across there. But yeah, we'll depart Strom camp and we'll set out on these missions and I'll pick them up in the next part. So for now, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm looking forward to this wee run through. So please rate the video, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content, and I hope to see you again next time. Cheers!